going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are actually in the great state of Iowa today. I was actually down here a couple weeks ago with my buddy Matt from the Net Buddy, and we tried to do a little bit of filming for a product that he plans to release early this summer. Super cool product, super excited about it, but we weren't successful on that trip. So it's about 2 weeks later now, and the last time we were down here, we think the fish were kind of in the middle of spawn. The big females were up shallow, the males were pushed deep still, so I think the females were moving in there. The males were eventually going to come in there, and basically it was a tough trip. So we had to take the skunk on that one, but it's 2 weeks later now, and I'm actually coming down here for a very special trip to me. And the reason this is special is because on this trip to Iowa, not only do I get to musky fish in April, but I get to take a kid fishing. One of my good buddies from work, Brian, his son Nicholas is getting into the sport, and actually they went up to Lake of the Woods last year, and I gave him some braids, some leaders, some release tools, some hook cutters, and a handful of baits and whatnot, and he wasn't able to catch one. So he's never caught one, to my knowledge anyway. So what we're gonna try and do on this trip is actually get him a fish. So the interesting thing is I am actually going to be solo out here today, and the reason for that is I want to get out here and map this lake out good, figure out where the bait is pushed, and figure out kind of what the fish are doing based on water temps. If I had to guess, water temps are going to be mid-50s. They were about 48 to 52 last time I was down here. So we're gonna just kind of check the lake out today, do a little bit of fishing. I was actually planning on getting out here and doing a bunch of map work right away and whatnot, but I think what I'm actually going to do is fish, because we have a major from 9 to about noon or so, and the weather has just finally calmed down. It was raining basically the whole way down here, and it's finally calmed down. We're post frontal, the sun's supposed to come out, the weather's supposed to warm up a little bit. It's going to be humid today, so hopefully that'll get these fish firing here, and hopefully they're post spawn and ready to chew. I just stopped at Casey's, filled up the truck, gonna fill up the boat, and then we're about 20 minutes from the lake, so we're gonna get after it, and hopefully we can put a couple fish in the bag for you guys. Okay guys, so what I'm doing out here right now is I don't have a map card for Iowa. I have an older Great Plains Navionics card that I thought was going to have mapping for this lake, but it doesn't. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just driving around kind of real slow, watching my electronics, and what I like to do when I'm auto charting, which is effectively creating my own map of the lake as I go, is I like to take a really wide pass around the structure that I'm mapping out and then watch my side imaging, and that gives me an indication for, is it going to get shallower, in a little bit tighter? Is there anything that intrigues me, right? If it's just a straight break this time of year, I'm probably not intrigued, but what I'm looking for is underwater rock extensions right now, as well as underwater submerged timber. All of that stuff's gonna hold heat. If these fish are post-spawn, they're gonna move out of the shallow spawning bays, and they're going to move onto the adjacent deeper underwater structures and covers like rock points and sunken timber. And effectively what they're going to do is stage there near the deep water basin and start feeding, assuming they're post-spawn. So what I'm looking at right now are primarily just, you know, deep points adjacent to the deepest water in the entire lake. So I'm gonna go and hit a few of these different spots, map these out, and then I'm gonna start from the one I mapped out very first. I'll fish that one first. Just in case I disrupted anything by driving over it with the boat the first time, I'll fish that one first. So I'll map it first, then I'll fish it first. So I'm kind of giving the fish time to push off and then back onto some of these pieces of structure. And what I'm also doing is dropping waypoints on things that intrigue me, whether that's underwater rock piles, underwater timber, etc., etc. Drop a lot of waypoints. It'll really help you remember kind of what was the key element that drew you to that particular spot. So that's what we're gonna do here for a little bit, and then we'll check back in with you when we're about to wet a line here. Stay in. It's a good fish. Real good fish. Come on, stay pinned. Stay pinned for me. Oh, come on. Come on. Stay pinned. This is always the hardest part. Stay pinned. Stay pinned. Stay pinned. Yes. 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 And it's a good one. All right, you guys, we got the first fish in the bag of 2025. Had to drive all the way down to Iowa to get it, but the best part is we've hardly been fishing. I went and mapped out a few spots and kind of got a feel for what's going on in terms of bottom topography, whether there's rocks, trees, weeds, whatever the case may be. And we actually got this one to eat off a weed point that kind of extends out towards the main basin. She was tucked in a little tighter. I actually cast it over the top of it and she ate on the other side of it as the bait was coming into it off the point. So a little bit unique there. Totally caught me by surprise. I think I was looking down at the graph or something and all of a sudden I see this tail flip in and I set the hook and there's dead weight there, and she fought hard. These Iowa fish fight really, really hard. So anyway, I'm gonna bump this fish because I've never caught an Iowa fish, so I kind of want to get a feel for size and record my personal best at this point. She's a pretty good one. I would guess she's probably like 40, 41 right there. So a really, really nice Iowa fish. Super excited about it. And what made it even better, and I'll talk about this in just a second, is I got it on the Glitch Pedigree. I've been meaning to get my buddy Mike Conklyn a fish on the Glitch Pedigree for a number of years now. I don't throw a ton of gliders simply because it's just not my style of fishing. I like to fish through stuff pretty fast, but I've really slowed it down today. These fish are likely post-spawn. This one's pretty beat up. I'll show her to you. And I'm just slowing everything down, slowing it way down and just working that glider really slow. Lots of long pauses, let it hang at the boat, let it sink down a little ways, work it back up. And I finally got one on film for him. So Mike, it's been long overdue that I do this for you, and I'm happy to do it. Your baits are absolutely incredible. There's a reason why they sell out at the Wausau show every year. But anyway, I'm gonna dip the bump board here. I'm gonna pull this fish out. We're gonna show her to you, and then we're gonna get back to fishing. Oh, it's been a while since I've got to do this. Super duper nice fish. And she is a little shorter than I was expecting. About 39 and a half, but still just a beautiful Iowa post-spawn musky. Look at that thing. Super cool. Super cool fish. Pause, take a smile. And we are, we're gonna get her back. They always fire off super nice early in the season, and this is obviously the earliest I've ever caught a muskie, being that it's April, but she had no problem taking off, and that's a great sign considering they just expelled a lot of energy during the spawn. So to get this all picked up here, we're gonna get back to fishing right now. Oh my God. Stay pinned, stay pinned, stay pinned, stay pinned. Oh my God. That was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Stay pinned. Stay pinned. Oh my God. That was unbelievable. Sleeping. Not as big as the first one, but she's still pretty good. So cool. All right, guys, we just got our second fish in less than 10 minutes. So I'd say this has been a pretty positive trip so far, and even if I don't catch one the rest of the time, this has been a ton of fun. Basically, all I did was just continued on my line, wrapped that point, came across the other side, and this one kind of popped on the bait near the boat. It looked like she took a swipe at it and didn't quite get it, so I just gave her a few more taps and she just crushed it both sides. Super cool. I mean, that's when glide baits are super fun, is when the fish are eating both sides like that, and she wasn't holding back at all. So this is a smaller one. I do think it's a female. I'll check here real quick, but I think they must be pushed in here feeding. The wind's kind of blowing across it, pushing bait fish to this side of it. They're in the slack water side and they're set up just perfectly to feed. So we're gonna keep casting after we show you this fish here and having a ton of fun. This is worth the drive for sure. Oh, another female. A little smaller one here, but what do you think of that, huh? They're pretty beat up from the spawn, but it looks like she's healing up pretty good. She's got, you know, some thrashing from beating into the rocks and stuff, but yeah, super cool fish. Having a ton of fun out here in Iowa. This has been a blast. We're gonna get her back and get back to casting. Another one down. Let me grab that bait real quick and I'll show it to you. Okay, so hopefully that'll focus for you guys on there. That there is the Conklyn Lures Glitch Pedigree. Let me pull it off the rod here. She thrashed my leader a little bit, but that is the Conklyn Lures Glitch Pedigree. It's got a hatchet blade off the back, 2 hooks. I'm assuming these are probably number 3s if I had to guess. Mike can comment on this video, but yeah, awesome paint job by Mike. I messaged him after I was down here in Iowa the last time and I said, Mike, I need a crappie pattern. Can you get it to me? And he obliged, and it's put 2 fish in the boat. So thank you, Mike, and you're welcome at the same time. So we're gonna put all this away, get back to casting. Stay pinned. Stay pinned. Ooh. Hell yeah. All right, guys, we got our 3rd fish of the day. It's been a little bit slow. I've had some opportunities where some fish are swiping at the bait or headbutting it and whatnot, but it's been little bit slower than I would have liked, but it seems like it's turning on now. I went back and kind of moved out of the wind again. I spent a little bit of time fishing some wind-blown stuff and it just wasn't productive. So kind of slid back out of the wind. It was actually kind of just doing a drift right here. I mean, I think you'll see it in the footage. I threw the drift sock out, slowed the boat down a little bit, and first or second cast, you just crushed it out there. So we're gonna keep working the kind of calmer side of the lake and focusing on weeds. I mean, they're just buried in the weeds. So this is a nicer fish. It might actually be bigger than the first one I caught. I'm not gonna measure it though. We'll show it to you and then we'll get her back. She is beautiful little Iowa post-spawn female. Big girls are out here eating. Super cool fish. They got awesome patterns down here. This one isn't super beat up like the rest of them, but cool fish nonetheless, probably right at 40 inches. Sweet, the hat trick. We'll see if we can get a few more. Jesus. All right, you guys, we must have hit this trip just right with post-spawn muskies because holy cow, they're chewing. That was within 3 casts of the last one. That's 4 today. Been a pretty unbelievable day, and we still got several hours before sundown here to fish. So this is a smaller one, definitely a male. I'm gonna pull it out here, show it to you, and then we're gonna get back to fishing. She has a smaller little guy here. That's okay. I like them all. These little ones are super pretty. These Iowa fish have such cool patterns on them. And yeah, having a ton of fun. If you guys don't have a glitch pedigree, you best get one at the Wausau show next year or reach out to Mike. Good, strong, healthy release. It's exactly what we want. And we might as well get back to casting because they appear to be stacked right in here. Alright, these fish fight. Little fall hooked. Great. She missed the bait. She got all fall hooked. Alright guys, we're at fish number 5. I got her resting in the bag here. She kind of got foul hooked. She went to swipe the bait, kind of missed it. And when they do, sometimes they come over the top of the bait and you end up getting hooks in the underside. But I got to just show this to you guys again. So this is the bait that we're running. I had to cut hooks on this one. So I'm gonna have to repair it here. But again, this is the Conklyn Pedigree. Okay, so you guys can see that okay. It'll focus for you. Yeah, there we go. So this is like a 6-inch glide bait. And it's got the hatchet blade on the back that gives a lot of flash down in the water. And it's pretty, I would say moderately weighted. And that's kind of what I like about it, because what we're doing here is we're fishing over the tops of some emergent vegetation. Water temps are like 60.5, and there's already some emergent vegetation coming up. So this bait allows me to really kind of work it over the tops of those weeds, and it doesn't get down there too far. It also has a very tight little action to it, and I really like that early in the season versus like your very wide sweeping gliders. If you guys have ever used any of those, it's got a very tight little action. The blade slows it down too. So that blade's always working for you. When it's doing its belly roll on the way down, that blade's twirling and it gets the fish really fired up. As you can tell, we got number 5. If you guys haven't checked out Mike's baits, you seriously have to at the Wausau show next year, or go follow Conklyn Lures on Instagram or Facebook. Awesome baits. He's also got just the original glitch that doesn't have the hatchet blade on the back. And then Mike also has a kind of new dive and rise with a metal lip on the front, which would be really good for banging into rocks and stuff too. That's called the pacifier, because it actually backs up into the fish and kind of puts it right in their mouth like a pacifier. So anyway, number 5 on the glitch pedigree, crappie pattern early here in the spring. Pull it out. This is a male. Pull it out here, show it to you, and we'll get it back on its way. There. Beautiful fish. Awesome, awesome little Iowa male here, I think. Yep, Iowa male. Beautiful fish. We're gonna get it back and we're gonna get back to casting because things are happening. Guys, this is honestly incredible. It's at the point where I was gonna do just one long weekend video, and I might have to split this up or just not even show it because the fishing's been literally that good. All right, guys, we have fish number 6 in the bag. Number 6. I can't even believe I'm saying that right now. This has been some of the most incredible early season musky fishing I've ever experienced in my entire life. This is another big female, so clearly they're done with the spawn at this point, and they're on the feed bag right now. So hopefully this continues throughout the weekend. I would really like to get Nick at least a couple opportunities and hopefully a fish tomorrow. So we're gonna bump this one just because I think she's probably borderline on my personal best down here at 39.5. So we're gonna just measure just to see. And while I'm at it, I might as well talk about handling. So as you guys can see where I'm situated in my boat, I have the Net Buddy net safely secured in the Musky Buddy receiver. Super deep bag on this so that the fish can sit down in the water and recover and not be stressed. I've fished with some shallower bags in the past where that's been an issue, where the fish is barely down in the water. So super nice bag right here, easy to get. I can move it hands-free, right? So it's right next to me. So when I pull this fish out, if I need to get the fish back in the water instead of on the floor of the boat, it's pretty easy to go right over the side right here, right? And what we're gonna do we're gonna wet the bump board. And what this does is it protects the slime coat on the fish. As you can see, I'm on my knees right here. I'm not standing up, I'm not situated. My bump board's gonna be right here in front of me. It's not gonna be at the front of the boat, it's not gonna be over here, it's gonna be right here. Because I want to make sure I'm handling that fish as little as possible and putting her in a position where if something were to happen and I lost control of her, she's not falling from up here, she's, you know, right there at the base level. So I'm gonna wet this real quick. Pretty easy to do, just dip it in the water. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the bag towards the boat. It pulls the fish tight to the boat, makes it a little easier to kind of corral them in the net. Pull her up and try and get my second hand underneath her belly as soon as possible, so I'm minimizing the vertical hold on the fish. Very fired up. Okay, so second hand under the belly right away. There she is. Beautiful Iowa musky. Their patterns are so cool. They look like cheetahs. Beautiful fish. Gonna bump her, right? Show her to the camera quick. Bump her. She is shorter than the other one. She's just shy of 39. Pull her up, a little beat up from the spawn. Hold her up for the picture again. 1, 2, 3. Not wasting any time with the pictures. And then we're gonna go right off the back of the boat here, right into the water. Real easy for me to bend over and drop her into the water here. And she's gonna be just fine. There she goes. Super, super strong, healthy release. But again, guys, I watch a lot of videos where guys have the net over the side of the boat, they pick up the fish, they walk over to the other side of the boat, they bump it, then they walk to the front of the boat and they release the fish. Keep it all contained right here, very low to the ground, right? If you drop that fish, she ain't gonna fall very far, right? You're minimizing the chance of hurting that fish or causing delayed mortality from a drop or something like that. So real easy, pull her out, bump her, hold her up, take some pics, right over the backside of the boat. Super shallow right here, very easy to handle them. And oftentimes when you're spot locked, your nose is into the wind so that there's an eddy back here and it's very calm. It's a very good spot for them to recuperate and they fire off just like that one did. So things are clearly happening. We're gonna keep after it. Maybe we can get number 7. I'm not gonna count my chickens before they hatch, but man, what an unbelievable day out here. Wow. All these fish fight hard. That's unbelievable. I guess she probably got foul hooked when she went to swipe it, yeah. I don't like that at all. So, we're gonna make a quick look at that. Make sure she's safe. Jeez. I watched her swipe it, and then she bit it, and she must have let go or the lure popped out and foul hooked her, which I don't care for much, but sometimes that's what happens. All right, guys, fish number 7 of the day. As I mentioned, I got a little bit foul hooked when it swiped at the glider and whatnot, but we got her in the bag, made sure she's good and safe. She's not super beat up from spawn or anything like that, but I think this is gonna be the last fish of the night. I don't wanna keep the family I'm staying with this weekend waiting on me for too long. So we're gonna show this one to you. We're gonna get her back, and then we're gonna head back to the boat landing and get this all packed up and ready to have 2 people in here tomorrow so that Nick and I can hopefully get on a couple fish and get him his first muskie. I hope they're firing like they were today. I mean, this was a ton of fun. And for a new angler, like an experience like this would have been incredible. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they keep firing tomorrow. So here we go. There we go. Number 7. Beautiful fish. Just a beautiful little spotted on this one, not a striped. Iowa muskie. How cool. I'm having just a blast. Sweet. We're gonna pack up, head back to the boat landing, and call it a day. All right, guys. While I'm motoring back to the landing right now, I just want to call something out here real quick. So on this Glitch Pedigree, you can see that. Oh, let me do this. On this Glitch Pedigree, you can see that. What I'm running here is a straight wire leader. Perfectly straight wire, and the key on this, you can see that, no swivel. Absolutely no swivel, tied directly to the straight wire leader. Generally, you want your leader to be the same length as the bait. So if you guys can see that, hopefully that'll show up for you okay. Well, it's 6-inch leader on a 6-inch glide bait. Split ring connection. Don't even mess around with snaps. I've heard of more snap failures in the last year than I've ever heard in my entire life on split rings. That's the most secure connection. It'll give your bait the best action possible. But the key here is no swivel at the top of this. You want this glider to work as unimpeded as possible. You want no extra weight dragging that leader down when you go to the stall. You don't want your leader to do this. You want everything nice and parallel, working just like this. That's a big key here and part of the success. But yeah, guys, super awesome day out here. I just had a blast. Can't wait for tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to get Nick a muskie. So I'm gonna motor back to the landing and we'll check in with you guys tomorrow.
1 minute you're pulling off the lake as optimistic as can be. And the next, reality hits. As often happens in this sport, conditions changed. Storms blew in Friday night, leaving us with windy, post-frontal conditions the rest of the weekend. Despite these headwinds, Nicholas and I put our time in, and while we were ultimately unsuccessful at getting him a muskie, we can't say we didn't have our chances. When times get tough, I like to find the silver lining. I feel so blessed to have been able to spend my weekend taking a kid fishing and giving him valuable experience that undoubtedly leaves him better ready for his next muskie adventure. Thank you all so much for supporting our channel. Until next time, catch you on the next spot.